Is there a
We
way
are
for me to
live.
see everybody on the screen? Or no? I just see
Yep,
you and
just,
whoever's in this and me in the
yep,
corner.
just
It's
hit
okay.
the gallery view, and we're live on Facebook. So, Shalise, I'll let you take it away.
All right. So we are so lucky to have Dr. Kelly here tonight. Dr. Kelly Mattone owns and operates the Aesthetic Medical Studio. She's been in the practice 20 years. She loves helping patients age in reverse, something I love too, and shares the same anti-aging concern. She's passionate about sharing her wealth of knowledge in preventative aging through the daily use of patented liquid collagen. We might be familiar with that. She is such a sweet, kind person. Her daughter works with her. Additionally, she's been on the highly acclaimed Modere advisory board. So help me welcome Dr. Kelly Mattone.
Thank you.
So anyway,
thank you.
we have a couple questions for you. Again, thank you for taking time. You look amazing. I met your daughter. You guys have just really good genes. And I think it says a lot. And I think it says a lot when your daughter, you guys have such a great working relationship. So I think that just says a lot to me. I hope to have that great working relationship with my adult children as well. So let's just dive right in. I know everyone's anxious to just pick your brain, and I have some questions, and however you want to interject or any stories or personal experiences, we'd love to hear it. So I guess we want to hear, first of all, how long you've taken liquid biocell collagen. What was the first thing you noticed by ways of improvements, and any anecdotes you want to throw in?
Okay, so my story kind of goes back to the end of 2013, and it also touches based on topics you guys had discussed about how to approach a doctor. And I'm going to tell you how not to approach a doctor, because that's how it came to me at first. I had a new patient call for a consult for Botox, and we're talking, and we decided that she would do her Botox next week. And she said to me, "Oh, by the way, are you interested in a new line of skincare?" And I said, "No, I'm not." I said, "I have my own line." I said, "But are you a rep in disguise, or are you a patient?" I said, "Because if you're a rep in disguise and coming here trying to tell me that you're a patient and you want to be a patient of mine and you're not," I said, I don't deal with that. You can talk to my office manager. Most reps don't get past my front door." And she said, "But it's something that you would really want to know." And I said, "Well, right now I'm really a little bit annoyed, I have to tell you." And I felt bad because she's a very dear friend of my esthetician. And she said to me, "Well, maybe you're not quite understanding me because my English isn't so good." She goes, "Would you listen to my friend, Dr. Grzinia Pajunin, when I do my Botox?" And I felt bad. And I said, "You know what? Okay, fine." I said, when you come in next week, bring her, and then we could talk about it." And I want to tell you that Dr. Grzinia came in and set up her pink little computer. And I said to her, "You have 5 minutes and then we're done. I'm sorry." And she told me about bioavailable hyaluronic acid, that within 28 days, your HA level shoots up 6,000%, hyaluronidase to shut off, and every type of collagen goes up. And I said, "Time out." And she said, "No, I have 4 more minutes." I said, "I don't need 4 more minutes. I'm in. I get it." I said, "I've been searching for something like this my entire career." And she just looked at me and went, "What?" I said, "And I'm going to tell you something else." I said, "And you're not going to believe me." I said, "But I'm going to be on the science board." I didn't even know if they had a science board. I said, "I'm going to be on the science board of that company." She said, "Well, maybe you want to try the product first." And I said, "Oh, I'm definitely into the product. There's no doubt about it. You show me science that appeals to me."
So you were already looking for a product like that with.
I wasn't
within 28 days, 6,000. I mean, had you seen any product like that before?
Never.
And I love how I'm going to be on the board. And you did that. That's amazing.
Okay. 3 years later, I was on that board. Yeah.
Wow.
So I originally started it for my skin. And I said, "All right, I know you have all these pictures and everything, but I need to try it myself and see." And it wasn't even a month later when I had a horrific accident. And I really lost the use of my hips and my back. It was horrible. And I called up Dr. Grzinia and I said, I remember seeing pictures, or I read something that this can help your joints. I told her what happened to me, and she said, "Drink a bottle in a day and let me know how you feel." And I went, "Okay." No, I know there was no toxicity at 33 times normal dose, and it tasted great. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. And within 2 days, 65% of what I was feeling was off the table.
Wow.
And I just said, wow, this is really incredible. Just super, super incredible.
Wow. Okay.
So that was the beginning.
When we were in Salt Lake City, you shared an amazing story, okay, of your assistant, you know, in your office, noticing how you had gone off the liquid biocell. Kind of tell us more about that, because I thought that was really interesting, because there's a lot of skeptics who are like, oh, it's just juice, or, you know, it's mental. So tell us more about the double blind test and how you came off and how they noticed you're off.
Right. Okay. So within 2 days, I was feeling a significant difference. And as a physician, and I was also a sports medicine doctor for 10 years prior to becoming cosmetics. So I know joints, I know bones, I know how bodies heal. And I said, you know what, in 6 weeks, my body should probably heal itself and I'll be okay. And I was starting to feel a little bit better. And I said, okay, so let's see if it's really natural healing that's going on, or if this liquid biocell was really helping. And after a couple of weeks, I have to tell you, I wasn't feeling great. I never told anyone. And my secretary looked at me and she said, what's wrong with you? She goes, I'm watching you get up and down from a chair. She goes, and you're using your arms. You're not using your hips. And I said, I stopped liquid biocell. And she looked at me like, well, why would you do that? You were doing great. And I said, I needed to know if it was going to work, or if this is my body working. So she goes, are you going to stop that again? I said, no, I promise. I'm going on right now. We actually keep stuff in the office in the refrigerators. I'm like, here we go. I'll take it. And so again, started the process of feeling better and using this and getting a little bit of mobility back. And I said, okay, let's stop this and see if this is real or if this is from the product. And again, never told her. I didn't tell anyone else in my office. And a few weeks later, I noticed that I was limping. And my esthetician said to me, what the hell? What's wrong with you? She goes, you were not like this a couple of weeks ago, even a couple of months ago. And I said, I stopped. My secretary said to me, oh, I bet you stopped liquid biocell, didn't you? And I went, I did. She goes, why would you do that? I said, because scientists, we do double blind studies. I said, I was double blind, but now I see. I will never, ever, ever come off this product. And that was 2014.
Wow. That's a true scientist. That's what I love, because you take it off, you're not telling anyone, and you saw for yourself the power and how much you need it in your bloodstream. Okay. So that brings me to my next question. So do you have a favorite of all the varieties, and do you mix them? And you want to talk about, I guess, the different types. I'd love to hear your favorite combination.
Well, I'll tell you my least favorite. And my people in my office got me, don't tell the patients you don't like this flavor. Let them decide. I can't sport. I'm sorry. It's so good. I want to take it so badly. I can't get it past here. I'm sorry. Just that sour cherry. I've tried mixing it. I've tried disguising it. And I'm so annoyed, because I have to tell you a story about that. When my daughter was studying to get into law school, she was, Mommy, I feel stupid and my body hurts. I said, okay, well, you're going to take sport. And in 3 weeks, my daughter said, Mommy, I doubled my test scores and my body feels great. So I'm thinking, oh, great. I want this too. I want my brain to be sharper. I just couldn't do it. And yet there are some of my patients who I say, try this. And they go, oh my God, it's delicious. And I go, well, okay. But so I'm very grateful that there are other versions of it. I don't do pure, because to me, why would I get nothing else added to it when I could have 14 or 16 or 18 different antioxidant superfruits? So my favorite is Life. I will have to tell you, I love the Life. I love the way it tastes. I love the resveratrol in it. You know, I'm 61 years old. There's a lot of inflammation going on in this body. And the inflammation part with the resveratrol is really super keen for me. Skin, I love as well. I noticed that skin tastes differently depending on the season, and most of them will, because the fruits are, you know, derived from different regions. And so they will have a different flavor to them. So if anyone has ever noticed a change, like, oh my God, what did they do? They added something, they changed it. It's fruit. And that's the other reason why you need to refrigerate this. I just had a patient today who said to me, oh my God, you need to refrigerate that? I said, you've been on this for years. She goes, I've never refrigerated. So
Ah,
yeah,
no,
I
I've
said,
had that
it's fresh
happen.
fruit, and that's the reason why. And,
Yes.
and that's the reason, yeah, and that's the reason why you'll get the sediment at the bottom. The fruits aren't squeezed, they're pulverized. Whole fruit goes in, and you're getting the benefits of the skins of the fruits and everything else that goes into it. Immune, I love Immune. The flavors, like, I don't know, like grape juice, or I absolutely love that. You know what? I keep an assortment of everything except Sport in my refrigerator. I won't say that. I have Sport because when my kids come over, they'll just down that one. And whatever I reach for, I'll grab. And you know, I'm one of those people that I don't measure. I swig. I swig. And when I'm getting on a plane, the night before, half a bottle is going in my body. And you know, when I come back, it's the exact same thing.
Right.
So,
Okay.
and then, you know,
all the dryness, right? The dryness in the air.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, I live in an apartment now. My humidity is 15%. I walk in my house and I can just feel everything drying up. There's not enough biocell in the world to get winters in New York apartments.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's freezing. That's
Yeah.
interesting because I love the life as well. And I feel like Reed was on Sport forever because of the BCAAs and the sport recovery. And he was seeing some good results with that, but like not as much of his hair was growing. And then he switched to Life and like his hair was growing, and he needs a haircut right now. So I think those extra super fruits and the resveratrol really helps, really help the follicles. Do you think that like follicular health and all of that is helped
Oh,
through?
absolutely. It promotes, first of all, it promotes microcirculation. And so in order for hair to grow, you have to have a healthy hair shaft. You have to have healthy, you know, pieces around it. And that's what it'll do. So
Right.
also, I think that skin is very good for hair as well, because your scalp is an extension of your hair, and your hair follicle is an extension of your skin on your scalp. So if you're taking it for, you know, to promote hair, I would say take skin as well. And I always tell people, you need 2 bottles for a month. Take as many as you can, rotate them in, rotate them out. Why just settle for, you know, 13 fruits when you could have 28?
Right. Right. Well, I mean, just looking at your skin, I can't believe you're 61. Honestly, hair goals, really. So okay, so we just did that one. I guess we just kind of are easing into the next question. Can you speak more about our collagen affects the cell repair, cell renewal, and hair health? Kind of like, you know, a little bit more of what we were just talking about, but how this particular collagen affects the cell repair. And that's why we're having like a glow, and, you know, around my eyes are, you know, I felt like looked more filled in after I've been on this 2 years. So just talk more about that, kind of what it does to our skin underneath that we don't see.
Exactly. So when I have a consult patient coming in, I say it's my job to educate you. And so I always like to impart my knowledge. And the first thing I say to people is, when you see fine lines, wrinkles, and dry skin, it doesn't matter if you got them because you've been in the sun, because you don't use moisturizer, because you don't use sunblock, or you have a, you know, some kind of weird, funky disease process going on in your body. It doesn't matter. What your body is experiencing is a loss of collagen and hyaluronic acid and chondroitin, plain and simple. That is just simple science. Because we all know at this point that collagen, hyaluronic acid, and chondroitin sulfate, which exists in a matrix, it's not, I'm going to take a little collagen, I'm going to take a little hyaluronic acid. They naturally occur together. And as a matrix, they support the structure of your skin. I mean, they also support the structure of your blood vessels, your red blood cells. But talking about the skin, it's what holds your skin up. It gives you the turgor, it gives you the resilience, it gives you the strength and the moisture in the skin. And so if this is holding you up, what happens when you lose that? What you're holding up has to come down somewhere. And that's where lines and wrinkles and dryness form. And so it's truly amazing that you could drink this product. Number one, that it's absorbed, because that's the first thing, you know, even as doctors, the first thing when I would talk to another doctor, oh my God, it's collagen, hyaluronic acid, huge molecules, you're not absorbing it. I said, you're not absorbing every other kind, but our liquid biocell, you will 100% absorb. And so to be able to take that and to replenish your levels that you've depleted and to see the visible effects of that, sometimes within days. I have pictures within 5 days, some of my patients, 3 weeks. We always ask everyone to give it to 3 months because our trials were based on that. So that's really, it's just simple science. There's no complicated issues to it at all.
Wow. Well, so what are some of your advice with someone coming in middle age and they're coming and they have issues with joints? And so are you prescribing and telling them like some of your favorite collagens and like diet, and as well, do you bring that into your practice as well?
Yes, I try and I encompass the whole person, the whole patient, because you're not just a face or a belly. You're a person with lifestyles and family obligations and social situations that I have to figure out why you look the way you do and what else is happening. It's not just collagen and hyaluronic acid. You have horrific gut health. You're not absorbing nutrients. I mean, you could look as healthy as can be, and you see someone with thinning hair and the skin's not looking so great. They have gut issues at that point. And so I always will try and talk to people about, tell me about your lifestyle. Tell me what you eat. Do you work out? What do you do? And I tell them that I have a comprehensive system that can address almost any part of their body. And it, depends on how much people are willing. They're coming in for a cosmetic consult, and but they'll listen to me because, I walk the walk. That's one thing about what I do in my office. I have 10 different lines of products ranging from, $50 to $350. The only products that I use are Modere Self-Proof, and I'm not lying.
Oh,
I'm not lying.
really?
I
Amazing.
am absolutely not lying. And every day I have my, Dave, I still have the old Stromaderm, believe it or not. That's the precursor to all this stuff.
Really? The
Uh-huh.
OG.
So I
classic.
spray it,
The true classic.
right? I have still about 5 bottles left, Dave. So
I have
I'll
one
use,
left.
do you? Okay. So I'll spray a little bit of that on my face, and then I'll use the body firming foam. And, I don't advise people to put it on their face. I happen to put it on my face. I put it under my eyes. I will tell my patients, put it from your neck down. Then I put the eye cream on top of that. And then on top of that, I put the serum, the moisturizer, and the sunblock. My sunblock. I've been asking Ozma for 8 years, please, 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 I want this sunblock. We're getting closer because now we have the sunless tanner. But that's my routine. So, I tell people I have everything available to me. Look what I use. I have a specialty signature facial that I call Dr. KO's 360 Inside Out. And it starts with, they come in and get a shot of BioCell. They can have, whichever shot they want. I will then double cleanse their skin. I then exfoliate it. I then put on the eye cream, the serum, the moisturizer. I apply a layer of ultrasound gel, and then I ultrasound this into their skin because ultrasound drives your products deep into the skin. So could you imagine? We know they work just sitting on the top of your skin, but I physically drive them deeper.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so let's talk, since we have the big immune sale going on right now, can we talk a little bit more about, not many people know about wolfberry. It's kind of like another word for acai or goji berries. So can we talk more about, what you like about the immune, how that works, and just, we use the word bolster immune system because we don't promise anything.
We're also aware of immune health within the last couple of years, which is nice because it's been, unfortunately, how people, now have to realize that they have an immune system that's really not functioning high level. I love the elderberry that's in there and the zinc. I mean, I belong to a lot of groups on Facebook about doctor groups, and a lot of them are holistic and natural. And I always hear people in the group are always asking, oh, what can I do to bolster my immune system? Or what can I do? I have a cold. And it's always elderberry and zinc, elderberry and zinc. And then you put that inside the Life formula, which has resveratrol. You get the equivalent of 8 bottles of red wine resveratrol. So you have anti-inflammatory. That's also immunoprotective, the Life. The French people have the lowest incidence of cardiovascular disease and cancer globally, and that's due to the red wine. resveratrol that they drink. So I just think that, you know, I love Immune, and the flavor is beyond.
Wow. Yes. I love the flavor. It is, like you said, it's like life plus all the yumminess from elderberry and zinc and wolfberry. And yeah, so delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to open up in the chat if anyone had any other questions. And then David also has some props from the Immune sale. Has everyone taken advantage of the Immune sale today? I hope. And then I guess I also, maybe one last question, or if you had something that I didn't cover. But I guess your die-hard top 3 Modere products that you like never travel without. I would love to hear that.
Okay, so the eye cream is in my pocketbook. It's in the pocket of my car. It's in my lab coat work. It's in my drawer. That's a big one for me. I love that. I love, you know, any of the liquid biocells except for sport for me. So I always have that available. And the serum and the moisturizer. I know you said 3, but I can't live without serum and moisturizer.
Okay,
And that I'll put on multiple times throughout the day. You know, we have it in every room in my office. And if I'm feeling dry in the office, I'm just taking a couple of drops and doing this.
Wow. And you're in a winter, you know, climate, whereas we have humidity down here in Georgia. So it's like so much more important. And I remember growing up in Chicago and feeling like my skin was really tight and dry. But I was like, oh, you're only supposed to put, you know, moisturizer on at night. I think someone told me that. And I was like, you're so right. You just like put it on when you're feeling dry because it's like snowing outside and you're cold and your skin's getting tight and dry and eventually wrinkles, etc.
Yeah, all day long with that.
All day long. Okay. And what's cool about the eye cream is so small, you know, you can fit it in random little pocketbooks and purses. So,
and I have to tell you, I have fallen in love with the cleanser. I was somebody who would always tell people, just wash your face once a day. You know, you don't need to do it twice a day. You're going to strip all the moisture and all the oils off your skin. And since this came out, it's twice a day. And I love it. And, you know, I don't even use makeup remover. I'll use that.
Oh, really? The double cleanser?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I love the double cleanser too, but I love the eye makeup remover. I feel like that really helps with
that is good.
clumps out, you know? Yeah. And then okay. So I think.
So let me tell you guys about the promo before I have to jump off. So Immune, this is it. This is Immune right here. This is the bottle. And if you get 2 of these, which is a month's supply, we have $20 off links right now. So talk to the person that shared this with you. It supports, as we mentioned, the immune system, also respiratory health. That's a big one. Improves joint mobility and lubrication. This stuff is on the bottle. And as well as bolstering, as we heard, the immune system. So this is similar to the Life formulation, but it's bolstered with, as you heard, the echinacea and zinc plus 13 superfruit antioxidants. Now, so you get 2 of these, and typically the retail price would be like $150. What the company's doing now through April 1st, actually, March 31st, the $20 off links expire. So you can get this for $20 off. You get 2 bottles. You'll get a free little Collagen Plus mini beaker for your dosage, which is really, really cool. We have a big collection of them now. And on top of that, $50 value is the pure packets. So this is the pure version. And it currently is the only version of the liquid collagen HA matrix that comes in these little travel packets. And each one of these is going to have 14 in a box, which is a week supply. You do that every 12 hours, has a 12-hour half-life. So you just twist it and drink it. And you don't have to refrigerate it. This is TSA approved. And so these are great for travel. All right. So this will come free through April 1st. That's North America only, because I know we have a lot of people worldwide on our team and also that watch on the Facebook walls and so forth. So that's the promo, guys. So thank you so much. And Dr. Kelly, you are absolutely amazing for coming on and sharing. I had one question for you, hopefully, while we have you here, because this is a rare.
I have more time. If you have questions, fire them. I'm here.
Hey, I don't know if you guys know what a blessing and a treat this is to have Dr. Kelly, because she was just on stage with the company at the last event in Utah. She regularly speaks for thousands and thousands of people. And so it's really cool to have her tonight. And so while we have her, just want to share. So you shared your favorite products. I love that. What I would love to hear from you, if we could switch gears, because this is where I get excited, is what are your thoughts on the business of this company and how it's different from all that other stuff you've seen? I'd love to hear from a perspective of someone who, you know, obviously you have your own practice, you have all of your own clients, you just got off of work at 8 o'clock at night. So you work really hard, you work your butt off for everything you've ever had in your life. How is this business, what about this business gets you excited? What do you love the most about it?
If I can travel back in time to when I really got a passion about it. When I first started, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, well, I'm just going to tell my patients and I'll take it for myself. When I had my hip surgery, I was out of work for an entire month. And Tony Pajunin came to my office and he said to me, so Doc, you've been out of work for a month. He goes, how much money has come in? And I looked at him, I said, Tony, not one red cent. He goes, well, I have to tell you, he goes, you know, I gave up my traditional wait staff job. Tony is an entertainer and would wait tables until he got his big break. He said, I am now doing this full time. He said, and I'm making enough money to pay my rent. And I said to myself, if this man who is half my age, and he's an intelligent man, doesn't have the credentials that I have, and he's making a living out of doing this, and I'm busting my butt, and God forbid I get hurt again. And I did. 5 months later, I was in the hospital again. I was out of work for a month. There was nothing coming in, and that's very distressing. So that's when I made up my mind that I was going to put a little bit more effort into it. And I wasn't looking to build teams. I was just looking to get a little side income. And I would always tell people, this is my plan B. This is my plan B. I know people in this company making, enough money to do that as a full-time thing. And I wasn't really taking it seriously. And then the pandemic hit and I was on the phone with Elaine Wise and she goes, you know, Doc, you need to transition to something online. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know, my practice cannot be done online. I'm not a telemedicine. And I said to myself, who am I kidding? I have an online business that's sitting right in front of me. Mm-hmm. So I will tell you that I just kicked it into high gear. My daughter and I signed up a spa owner who has 7 spas. That just happened last week. And on Friday, we are meeting with the 2 CEOs and the senior vice president of one of the highest grossing med spas in New York. So this is not only my plan B has become plan A. I like working. I like what I do. I like working? No, I like when I'm in my office and I'm doing what I'm doing because it's fun. But there's still a lot of angst that goes on. I mean, I have people's faces. I'm putting needles in. I'm doing weird kind of things to them. That's a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. And I'm getting older. And do I need to be taking risks about doing stuff when I have a guaranteed, bona fide, real business that I can do from anywhere in the world? So my goal is really to transition out of my office and do this full time from around the world. And I know that that is a distinct possibility and it's coming closer every single day. So just keep putting in the time. And I also have to tell you that I put in a change in my mental attitude. I said, you know what? It's time to start building teams. Let's go. You have it. You have credentials. You have a product. What more are you asking for? Put it in your head that you are visualize that this is happening. And I have visualized myself, right up there at E3, Platinum Black, E3.
Awesome. So. Awesome. Just like you visualize yourself on the advisory board, right?
Exactly.
And isn't it unusual? I mean, because I know a lot of offices have vitamins and they have different things on their shelves. Wasn't Modere's business planned at, starting at 10% up to 36%? Did you find that quite unusual?
Beyond unusual. I mean, like, seriously, you could make, I sell products. What do I get? Maybe 20, 30, whatever. It's certainly not in these double digit percentages with no cap.
Right, with no cap.
None.
That's what I found so unusual, because I work commission based with different brands for 8 years, and there's no such thing as 36%. I mean, I think some brands will do like a one-off at 25% seasonally, but when David said 36, I was like, huh? And that adds up. And so, and that's cool how you have your daughter and you guys are a team and you're going after the med spas. I guess, what would you tell someone who, and then I know Marilyn has a question too. She can add it to the chat if she'd like, but one more question I had here written was, we get a lot of this when we're selling the product is, I'm good, Shalise. I take that stuff from the collagen from Costco. I'm good. I don't need this. And I was just talking to someone Sunday and I gave her a bottle of Life and I go, taste this. And I gave it to her husband too. And they were like, whoa, this is delicious. And I said, do you know what bovine means? Basically. So anyway, we went back and forth a little bit, but they weren't aware. And then she said, it kills our stomach when we drink that powder, but I just figure it's good for us. And so I would like to just hear your perspective, because I'm sure you've come across those people in your practice who are like, Dr. Kelly, I'm good. I got the powder, or it's hard on my stomach, but hey, I'm getting my collagen. What would you say to them?
The first thing I say is, I applaud you for knowing that you need to take collagen. Unfortunately, you're not educated on the different types of collagen that there are, and you're just buying into what's there. And I go on to explain that collagen doesn't exist by itself. It exists with hyaluronic acid and chondroitin sulfate. And that's in a matrix. It's a liquidy kind of thing. I said, when you look at your powder, is there any liquid? Do you think there could be any even dried liquid in here? That is type 1 collagen, and it's ground up parts of snouts, tails, hooves, tracheas of dirty animals that have been going around in heavy metal, whatever disgusting things that I said, and there's no hyaluronic acid in there. I said, it's really not even the collagen that's important. And I don't know if people in this company know, Ozma was not in search of collagen. Ozma was in search of hyaluronic acid. And when she discovered the sternal cartilage of chicken, it was hyaluronic acid. And she went, oh my God, there's collagen and chondroitin in here as well. So it's really not so much, yes, it is collagen and it all comes together. But in my eyes, the hyaluronic acid is more important than the collagen.
Wow, interesting. That's an interesting perspective. Marilyn, if you want to unmute and ask your question. Are you there?
Yes, I just sent it over in a chat if you want to read it. I'm just wanting to know about the antioxidant gel, with Dr. Kelly uses that in her practice or uses it herself. I love it. It's like silk.
No, I don't. And that's because of the cell-proof product. There's only so much of one thing that I could do. That's an amazing product and the antioxidants are great. But we have, there are, in this, the serum has vitamin C, it has French plum, it has so many other, there are antioxidants in there.
Okay,
so
good.
But it's a great product, but you don't need to be doing doubles. So be careful of what you take. It's like the new OptiPack that came out. You can kind of replace the omegas. You can replace digestive enzymes. You can replace the multivitamin. There's so many things that kind of go over. So it really depends, I suppose, on what your pocketbook can afford and what you can afford to do with it and what your time is like.
Okay, I use it on top of the serum and the double.
There you go. Listen, I use 3 different types of our products layered one on top of the other. So,
and the other
good. As long as you're using it.
Anybody mix like Immune and the Life together? I do that.
Mm-hmm. They can all be mixed with alcohol too. It tastes really good. You know what I tell my patients? I said, you drink mimosas. I said, if you put orange juice in your champagne, try a little skin or a little life, and I can guarantee you will never put orange juice in your champagne ever again.
It's so funny that you say that, because I only drink a couple times a year, special occasions, and when I do, it's Life or Immune vodka and fresh lime.
There you go.
Wow,
it's good with
It's a collagenini.
So there's health benefits. It's a healthy drink.
It is a healthy drink. I don't always drink, but when I do.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of what I had for there. I guess with the business side of it, what has been some encouragements and some challenges that you've faced so far, and like what you can encourage us all as we are starting our businesses here? Just
not, things ebb and flow. Things will ebb and flow. Your volume is going to be up, and then it'll go down. You know, I stayed at platinum for a while, and then I hit platinum 1. I'm always at platinum 1. And then I made it up to platinum 3, and I went, okay, here we go. 2 months in a row, platinum black 1 here, because that's on my vision board is platinum black. That's the other thing I recommend. Put a vision board out there, put it here, put it there, say it, tell God what you want. Thank God in advance for what you are going to have, and you will get it. Where was I? I'm so sorry. I went off track.
You were P1, you were P.
Oh,
P1,
right. So
P2.
You know, I'm up at 9,000 volume, and the next month I'm down at 6, and I'm going, oh my God. It can be discouraging, but you know what? It builds. Everything ebbs and flows. Don't get discouraged, because we know what a phenomenal product we have, and it's catching on. I mean, I started to talk to people who were telling me, oh, I've heard about that. Oh, I've seen that. I'm like, okay. Yeah, my own cousin called me up, and she said to me, oh, you're promoting Liquid Bassa. She goes, oh, you know, I get that from an influencer. I'm like, well, you know, maybe you should cancel your registration and put it under me. What are you, craziest family?
Yeah. No kidding. Well, when you start to see the Real Housewives downing it, you know, it's like, it's going to be mainstream. It's going to be everywhere. So I feel like David always says that, like, we need to tell them, because someone is going to hear about it. Right. And so it's like, don't be shy about sharing it, because they're eventually going to hear it from someone. Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Absolutely.
I just want to tell you guys, that is something Dave says to me all the time as well. I will say, David, should I reach out to so-and-so or so-and-so that I've met? Should I let them know they already do this business, or they're already with this product? And he always reminds me, and he's like, if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. So do it.
So do it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I have to tell you that this now enters almost every conversation. I was on the phone with my attorney, because I'm setting up a partnership for a different spa, and he started to tell me, he goes, oh my God, because I have to go. I have a client who's got nutritional stores. I went, wait a minute, come back with that. You have clients who have nutritional stores. I said, okay, I need an introduction. He goes, okay. I had a patient come in the other day who's a massage therapist, and she said, oh, I'm working in a wellness center. I said, and who are you working with? And I said, okay, we need to talk. Set up an appointment, and I need to talk. I'm aggressive with this now.
No, you're intentional. I love that, because I think so many opportunities are lost when they're like, oh, that would be nice. I'll do that one day. It's like, no, this is the moment. And I was saying this to a couple other people earlier in the week, that the most inconvenient timing has been like my most success. It's like inconvenience. Right. Like, don't be scared if it's like hard, inconvenient, doesn't work. And you know what? Guess what? There's never a perfect timing, right? It's like, you know them. Okay, set me up, email right now. Right.
Right. And it's moving beyond your comfort level. Like you know, I don't have a problem getting up talking in front of thousands of people, but when I have to ask someone to spend their money on something, it's a hard conversation for me to have. And I just said, you know what? It's step out of the comfort zone. Yeah. I can ask you for $5,000 to do a procedure on your face. Surely you have $140 to spend.
Right, it's $5 a day.
Right, and there are some procedures I do in my office, and I said, like my old therapy, I said, listen, what therapy uses ultrasound to break down your collagen, and we are relying on your body to build collagen over the next couple of months. I said, you're not building collagen as it is. You are no longer a collagen making machine. So how can I possibly expect, how could you possibly expect this to work well if you're not giving your body what it needs? I said, so before you do the procedure, you need to be on this for a month. It'll feel better to have it, you know, once you have that on board, and your results are just going to go off the wall. And that's one of my requirements to do that procedure.
Wow. Wow.
This is true.
And I know I've heard this number kind of go back and forth, but we stop making collagen in our 20s. Is that right?
You never stop making collagen. You're just not efficient at it. So here's the deal. At birth, you have the most, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, you have the most hyaluronic acid you will ever have in your life. And from the day you were born until the day you die, it goes like this. When you look at an infant and they're plump and juicy and flexible, and then you look at the, yes, but then you look at the same kid at 6 years old and you go, oh my God, they thinned out, they lost their body fat. And they did not lose body fat, they lost body water. The HA levels have already started to drop from the moment they're born.
Okay.
But you ask anyone, oh my God, what did that baby, look at that baby to this 5-year-old. Oh my God, that's certainly because they lost their baby fat. No such thing. It's baby water. And then the other thing, so collagen now starts at a low level because you're a baby. You need to grow a human, and it goes up and up and up until you're about 25. And then your body just cannot keep up with demands because you have environmental stressors that are coming in. Just, just processes in your own body generate free radicals, which chew up your own collagen. And so natural aging starts between 25 and 30. And then every decade from there on in, you're losing 15% of your connective tissue, which is collagen, hyaluronic acid, and chondroitin sulfate.
Wow. And so it's super important so I tore with my 3rd and 4th pregnancies. So isn't it important for pregnant women to be on like life?
You know what? I don't suggest anything to pregnant women.
Yeah.
It's not my field. You know, I'll say, listen, I know there are OBs within my, within this company that do suggest it. That's your decision to make. I will give you all the science. Take the science and go talk to your OB. I mean, I can't imagine what your OB will say to you. Oh, you can't have chicken soup and you can't have fruit. But that's not my decision to make for you, because God forbid something happens. Like the same thing, before I had my hip surgery, the doctor said to me, oh, whatever that crap is that you're taking. I said, crap. He goes, whatever it is. He goes, just stop it. And I said to myself, you know what? I am going to stop it, because if something untoward happens to me, he's going to say, see, I told you it was that crap that you take. Okay, so I stopped it like a week before. In the recovery room, I had 8 chewables lined up, and I started taking it. 4 months later, I had to have my other hip replaced. And he said to me, now you remember, stop that crap. And I said, oh yeah, I'm going to stop the crap. At midnight, which was the last time you were able to eat and drink, I downed 3/4 of a bottle. I had a problem with the first hip that I stopped Liquid BioCell, and the second hip that I took it, through surgery, I did not have a problem with. So,
wow. Interesting. And we always tell women to always go to their doctor first. And I always screenshot the product facts, which is great to bring to your doctor for them to cross check. But I love just how collagen works underneath the skin. Also, do you take trim, and which flavor do you like?
Of course I take trim. I mix vanilla and chocolate on a spoon, and it tastes like almost like Hershey syrup or Carvel syrup at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then I also, now that Axis came out, I put the Axis in it and swish it. I put sugar-free, fat-free whipped cream and almond slivers or walnuts. Because at nighttime, I'm like, I crave chocolate. I mean, I just crave chocolate. And I need to do something at nighttime. So that's I know you're better off to take trim in the morning. And the reason being is that trim lowers your cortisol levels, and your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, is the highest in the morning. So if you're debating, should I take trim at night or take it? I always recommend to others to take it in the morning. So that's a good thing. But yeah, that's my favorite. And I have to tell you, when it first came out, and it was the the lemon, that was like sport. I would gag, like
You-
literally.
Lemon is my favorite.
I'd have to lick a little bit off the spoon and go. "Ugh."
Oh my God.
I tried. I'm not a fruit kind of person. I guess I just don't have those kind of taste buds on my tongue. So I stick with the vanilla and chocolate. But my daughter tried one. I don't know. Are we allowed to say that the pink lemonade that's coming out? And she was just flipping out about that. Other people like all those other flavors. To me, I'm a chocolate vanilla. And when I just have vanilla, sometimes I'll just squeeze that right in my coffee in the morning.
Wow. Wow. That's a great idea about the swirl. Cause my least favorite is vanilla. My favorite is lemon. So we're totally opposite.
Okay.
But I love the idea of combining them.
And I mix lemon and chocolate. If those who like sweet and sour. And now that we got Dr. Mattone, go to Sally Beauty and get yourself a 1.5-inch pump like they had at the conference, and you can pump your trim out. You just have to trim the straw. I don't have one in here, but
you know what? I have one of those. I stole a spoon from Benihana's and they're flat, and so it's a big spoon. I put it on and then I just go like this.
I feel like they're making the bottles a little like tougher these days, and I feel like I just open the whole thing up and I just or a big spoon like you do.
There you go.
Just got to go fast. I mean, our mornings are so busy with the kids and everything, and just got to get it in. And I feel like when I gave a friend of mine trim, she goes, whoa, my energy, like I feel like I have a little bit of a burst, which I didn't have before. And collagen does help, with some of our body's energy, right? I know there's other things that we can take to kind of bolster that. And I love the burn because that really helps me
I was just gonna say, do the
beat
burn.
that afternoon slump. Helping the kids with school, running, Reed takes the kids to soccer. It's like that afternoon is when you're like, and we all kind of go down. I mean, you know, all the scientific ways we kind of during the day, and then 1 o'clock after lunch, we are just ready for a nap. So I really do love the burn, 2 tablets a day. You're a big fan of the burn as well, and activate.
I like the burn. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I don't take 3 burn. I'll take, 1 in the morning and I'll take another one later on in the afternoon, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And how about,
do you take 2 at a time?
I do. Yeah. Just because I'm kind of running out the house and I'll forget it otherwise. But I was at 1 for a while and I just upped it recently. So it just works because we're
great system.
So high, but it doesn't give me jitters, which
no, it doesn't.
Which is what was bothering me before with something else I was taking. And it was like, all right, so it's 60 milligrams of caffeine. And it just gives me I feel like I can clean a closet, right? Which is not usual. And I also take Activate too, the 3 times a month. Just
and
Activate, yeah.
The funny thing with
I have to tell you, go ahead.
The funny thing with burn is I'm very caffeine sensitive. I have a condition that I have to watch my caffeine. So I actually break the burn into thirds. And I have a couple of customers in my age demographic that do the same thing. They just find it just too stimulating. So we get empty gel caps and we open them up and we pour them. And I make 3 out of 1 and 1 does it.
Oh, wow.
That's smart. You can probably pour it on top of your trim with the Axis.
It doesn't taste good. It does not have a good taste. You get it on your finger when you and it's quite bitter. So no, it goes in the capsule and gets swallowed.
You know what I was surprised about? That Activate tastes so good. When I see green, I'm like, I'm not a green kind of person. That's green. I mean, it almost has like a lemon lime kind of thing. I don't mind the Activate at all. And I put really super cold water in it.
No, have you tried the Phyto Greens, Phyto Reds, Golds? Any favorites?
You know what? I haven't.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I haven't tried them.
I was scared of the greens. Reed started them, and then we started mixing the red with the green, and it was yummy. Green on its own is, like you said, a little scary, but and my kids love it because I don't allow Crystal Light in the house or any red number 40 or stuff that really helps really makes them hyperactive. So
Mhm.
I gave them each a Fido Reds when they put their names on it. And they
Oh,
love it.
cool.
It's delicious. You know, add some ice, and it's a hot summer day, and they love that.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
I have to say, we do that too with the Reds. All of my kids love the Reds with ice, and we squeeze lemon in it, and it's delicious.
Oh, cool.
So good.
Yeah.
Shalice, add the yellows to your shake. When
I
you
did
do
the
all
yellow.
three,
Oh,
I do all three, and it's with the vanilla slim powder, the pea protein shake. It's because I'm trying to take dairy out, so I do the pea protein shake with the greens, yellows, and reds, and it is just unbelievable.
wow, cool. And I like how the Golds has the turmeric for immune. So yeah, no, that's a really
I
good.
use them. I eat oatmeal for breakfast, and I will add plain yogurt, and I use 3 of them, the powders, and it's delicious. Never like it oatmeal. Now I love it, and I will put some fruit and fresh fruit. If I don't have fresh, then I will put the dry fruit. And first I started with the red, and tastes delicious. I love it. I was like afraid to do the green, the same thing, because I thought, oh, the taste will spoil. Not at all. And then I add gold. So now I'm using 3 of them, and I love it. My oatmeal tastes delicious.
Wow.
And then snack, this is what we do. If you need something between, we will take plain yogurt and add the red. You mix and tastes delicious.
Oh,
I'm
I-
mixing
And
up green
when I
yogurt.
make a shake, then
I love listening to what they do with their products. It's great.
yeah. And then when I do the shake, I will put 3 of them. And I don't drink because I have so many different drinks. So it's like, you know, how much you can drink. That's why I will put to my oatmeal. Yes, Marlene.
I was just going to say, I sprinkle the green on top of my salads,
Okay,
Good idea.
blend it with the greens.
green.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I love the access because it's so easy to add trim and yogurt and smoothies. It's so easy to add, and I feel like it does make such a big difference with your gut. And right, I mean, you probably address a lot of gut health, and that is so important to keep consistent with just keeping your gut, and because the connection with your immune system, and
Mhm.
I don't know.
And I was never really into a whole lot of gut health. And when this came out, I'm like, oh, all right, whatever. And I said, well, I have to try it. I mean, I have to try it. And I was surprised that I felt different, that there was the belly bloat went, the little bit that was there was gone. And I really felt better. I'm like, okay, then I'm just going to keep on taking it.
Yeah.
You know, when we started to take Access, our leaky gut gone. And we always took care of our, digestive system, because my husband had 2 different kinds of cancer. So we learned about, you have to clean yourself, clean the organs. So we always took very good product and then probiotic. But when we get the Access in a couple months, this is how I know, because we drink a lot of juices and beets. We eat beets constantly because they're good for us. And so when you eat beets, you go to bathroom, so you see this red color. And even when we did so many things for our digestion system, we still had the leaky gut. And we started to take Access, and the leaky gut is gone. So we still drink juices, the beet juices, and eat beets, and everything is clean. So it's wonderful.
Oh,
That's great.
Yeah, this is the best product ever. Even when I mentioned to someone, if I wouldn't have the money, if I had to choose one product, it would be Access.
wow.
Because, most of our illnesses are start from the guts. And if the guts doesn't work well, then we have a problem with the joints, we have headaches, we have stress, we have depression, all kinds of stuff start from the guts. The cancer start with the guts. We have parasite in the gut. So this is the most important thing we should do for ourselves.
Yeah, and I like that. Well,
I'm glad we don't have to just one.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? I don't want to pick just
My
one.
kids
I
come
love
to my house. all the cleaning products, all the laundry products. My kids come in and go, "Oh my God." I said, "Don't say, oh my God." I said, "Look at, I used a dishwasher gel for the first time the other day. I always have it in my dishes, but in the dishwasher, my dishes came out dry and my dishwasher did not smell. Go figure that one.
Wow.
I mean, I walk the walk, I talk the talk, it's all over my head. Even in my office, we have the hand soap, you know, on the, out on the sink. We have the spray all over, the hand sanitizer. We're so lucky to be able to have this at our disposal
Yeah, no.
and to help other people with it too.
Yeah, someone said it's not a business, it's a blessing
Okay.
in many ways. Well, thank you.
It's true.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly, for being with us. And I know it's kind of getting late. And thank you so much for just giving us so much of your time tonight and letting us pick your brain. And yeah, let's do this again. It was just so great to hear from you. And yeah, thank you everyone for coming tonight. Thank you, Dr. Kelly, again. And it was fun.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Bye, guys.
Kelly.
Have a great night. Be safe.
Thanks. This was awesome.
It's my pleasure. Hey, my Bayside girl.
Oh.
Bye.
Okay.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
you.
Good night. Have a wonderful
Bye.
evening. Bye-bye.
Night.
Night.